Welcome back students. In this video we are going to understand TDS, that's tax deducted at source. In a simple word, what is tax deducted at source? Let's say if you are about to make a payment to a party, it can be a payment for rent, it can be payment for interest, and there are few categories. And if you are making a payment, the government is saying that after certain threshold level, if you are making a payment, then you should cut the tax. Now what kind of tax it is? It is actually an income tax from the individual or the company. Now you are deducting that tax at the time you are making the payment, and after that you are making the payment to the party without the tax component, means after deducting the tax from the amount, and you are making the tax component payment to the government directly. So that is known as TDS. Let me read out for you. The concept of TDS was introduced with an aim to collect tax from the very source of income. Okay. As per this concept, a person or a deductor who is liable to make payment of specific nature to any other person shall deduct tax at source and remit the same into the account of the central government. Means you will have to deduct the tax and you will have to pay it to the central government. Now what is the procedure for this? First of all, we will have to activate the TDS feature by going to F11. We will have to go to the journal voucher. After that, in the journal voucher, we will do a very important task, that is to create two separate entity for the payment. First, we will have to make to the party, and second, we will have to make to the government. So I have created a company with the name TDS company. First of all, I will have to activate the TDS feature. So in order to do that, I will have to go to F11. Then I need to go to GST is already activated. So enable tax deducted at source, it is no. So convert this into yes, enter. You will have to give the 10 registration number. Now what is 10 registration number? It is the registration number if you want to collect the TDS. Now this is a 10 digit alphanumeric number, so randomly I am typing the 10 number. Here tax deduction and collection account number 10 number is the same, so you can skip it or you may go ahead. Deductor type, now what kind of, whether it's a company or individual HUF, so let's say I'm selecting individual HUF. Deductor branch division you may give. Set alter detail of person responsible. Here you will have to give the detail of person responsible for deducting the TDS amount. Here you may give the detail of accountant, so yes, and here you may give all the detail. However, I am skipping that part. Okay, go ahead. No, go ahead and save it. Okay, so TDS is being activated. Before we get into the voucher part, let me show you the TDS rate as well. So here is the chart and I'm going to attach this so that you can download. So here you may see payment of salaries by employers comes under section 192. Slab rate is going to be applicable. Okay, similarly premature payment of PF, basic cutoff means threshold level is 50,000, and the interest rate, here the rate TDS rate is 10% for individual and HUF, and if PAN is not provided then the rate is high always. Payment of interest to securities for companies. What is the section? Because knowing the section is very important here, because that need to be created. It is not automatically fed in Tally, we will have to create it. Okay, so I am interested in this particular part, which is payment of interest by others, and it comes under section 194A. The threshold level is 5,000, interest is 10%. As per latest update, when I am making this video, it is 7.5%, I guess, but whatever is the rate you may apply that, it's not going to make much difference in the procedure. Okay, so let me go to the Tally, and first of all I'm going to vouchers. Now here I am assuming that I am making an interest payment to a company, or let's say an individual. Why I'm making an interest payment? Maybe I have promised to make a payment of certain goods that I have not been able to make within the time frame, so I'm making the interest payment, and the interest payment is, let's say, 12,000. So it is above the threshold level of 5,000, so I will have to collect the TDS. So first of all, here I will have to press F7 for journal voucher. Now journal voucher, first of all, it's asking debit. Here we will have to create the TDS component, means the payment component. The payment is going to be for interest, so I am going to press Alt C, and I am creating the ledger, that is interest paid. Because I am making a payment of interest, so it's going to be under indirect expense, because from company's point of view it's an expense. Okay, type of ledger not applicable, GST fine, you may keep it applicable or not applicable also. Set alter no, I'm keeping it. Is TDS applicable? Here I need to select applicable. Now here you may see there is no list as such. In the previous versions there has to be list before the GST part, but right now I don't know why they have not feed it yet, but we need to create it. So we will have to go to create option, nature of payment, now name. So from here I'm going to take help, so it's going to be payment of interest by others. So payment of interest by others, you may keep the same name, payment of interest by others. Okay, now section is 194A. Fine, so 194A. If you have got further details of payment code, you may give that as well. Rate for individual with pen, as per my update it's 7.5%, but in that list it's 10%. So keep it 10% only, not be an issue. With pen also the rate is same, 10%. Threshold, it is very important. Threshold is 5,000 rupees in this kind of payment, so I'm keeping the threshold as 5,000. What does this mean? That if the amount is less than 5,000, then TDS is not applicable, but if the amount is more than 5,000, then TDS is applicable on the complete amount. Okay, go ahead, and classification, nature, no need to give. Now interest paid, the amount I've told, it's 12,000. Fine. Now comes the credit part. Now in the credit part I'm going to create the party. So Alt C, I am selecting Ram, it's going to be sundry creditor. Fine. Now TDS deductible, it's coming no, so I'm converting this into Y, that is yes. Now deducted type is coming as unknown, so I'm selecting individual HUF resident. Deducted TDS and the same voucher, yes. Okay, now here giving the pen number is very important, otherwise it's going to, the rate of TDS will be higher. So pen number AIZ GS 5A. Fine. Now provide pen details. Okay, fine. GSTN number it's asking for, regular unknown. Let me keep it unknown, that's not been a problem. Fine. So here you will see on 12,000 10% of TDS has been deducted. So for 12,000 10% is 1,200. So 12,000 minus 1,200, it's coming as 10,800, because 1,200 of TDS has been deducted automatically. Now let's come to this particular window. So new reference it's coming. Okay, one, here it's coming 12,000, so change the amount to 10,800. Fine. Now here we will have to create the component for duties and taxes. So Alt C, and I am selecting TDS on interest. Now TDS on interest is going to be under duties and taxes. From here I am selecting TDS, and from here we have created the nature of payment, which was payment of interest by others, so I am selecting that. So here it's coming as 1200. So 12,000 is the rent amount, sorry, interest amount that we are supposed to pay. Now out of that 10,800 is need to be paid to the party, and 1200 need to be paid to the government as a TDS. Okay, go ahead and save it. This is it. That's the thing you need to do. Now let me show you the report. In the balance sheet, here you can see as a current liability it's showing 12,000 because till now we have not make any payment. Under duties and taxes is 1200, and sundry creditor it's showing 10,800. Fine. Okay, let me show you a few more reports. So let me go to display more reports, then statutory reports, TDS reports. Let me go to form 26Q, and from here you will see that 12,000 is coming, tax deductible is 1200. So that's a TDS detail which is coming over here. And if I will go to TDS outstanding as an outstanding amount, it will show 1200 because again we have not made the payment yet. So if we need to make the payment for the TDS amount, I will go to form 26Q once again. Here you will be able to see state payment option. Click on this. Now from here I am selecting TDS. I am selecting the date, which is 1st of March till let's say 1st of May, and deducted till date, okay, 1st of April, that's fine. Here I am selecting the section for which I am willing to make the payment, or I am willing to create the challan. Okay, nature of payment is payment of interest by others. Okay, deducted status, you may select company or non-company. In our case it was non-company, but however you may select all items also. Okay, now you want to make a payment through cash or bank. For the bank we have not created a ledger, so we will have to create a ledger if we are making a payment through check, let's say. However, I'm selecting cash over here. So this is the payment voucher which is coming, and all the details are here. Go ahead and save it. So TDS payment has been done. Now let's come to the party, and we will have to make the payment to the party as well. So I'm coming to voucher. Now payment voucher is already there. I am selecting Ram. So overall balance it's 10,800, and here I am selecting to make a payment against cash. Fine, so we have made the payment. Let me go to balance sheet over here, Alt F1 for detail, and here in the current liability you may see nothing is coming because we have made the payment already. So this is how TDS need to be handled, and this is how TDS entry need to be done in Tally. This is it for the video. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.